Guys, it's Brittany from Coffee Planner Mom, and I'm here today to plan in my recipe planner, and I'm really looking forward to this. It is something I can't believe that I hadn't thought to put in here before. It is going to be going in our family favorites section. It is going to be chicken noodle soup. Now, I used my Papermate Inkjoy gel pen in the 0.7 tip to write it out. That's all I will use that pen for this video. I'm going to switch to one of my Simply Gilded sub box pens. This is a 0.5 gel ink pen. All of her pens are 0.5 gel ink. But yes, we are doing chicken noodle soup. It is definitely a family favorite among those of us who eat soup. As I've mentioned several videos across my channel, I have some very picky kids who do not eat any soups at all whatsoever, none of them. But everybody else loves chicken noodle soup. Now, I am going to be incorporating these washi. I do believe they are Simply Gilded washi. These are mostly, actually, yeah, they're all from a sub box, one or another. These are all from one sub box, and then this one is from a different one. I just felt like that sweater pattern would look really cute for chicken noodle soup. And we're going to be going with a silver foil. I don't know if I'm going to use these. I might use, I don't know. I don't really want to use blue, but this gray might work. That is silver foil, right? Yeah, I think it's silver foil. It looks silver to me. Flags from the Giving Girl, but if I use them, they won't be until we get down to the prep steps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm debating. I actually think I will take the silver washi. I don't even know how many steps this is going to be, or how many ingredients. I essentially do it on the fly. I do not have actual measurements for the ingredients or anything like that, which, if you know me, that is not at all my style typically when cooking. This is why I prefer baking over cooking, is because baking is like an exact science. It is chemistry. You have to make sure that you are using the right ratio of ingredients, otherwise it will completely ruin the final product. Whereas like cooking itself is definitely more of something that you can just kind of finesse, and I do not have the finesse needed. My brain operates in a very linear fashion, so I need like definitive guidance on what to do. So the fact that my chicken noodle soup is going to be kind of like a just wing it type of a thing, yeah, pretty unlike me. So I've got the vertical bows down. They don't line up completely even with the lines, but honestly it doesn't bother me. I do this quite often in my spreads, in my recipe spreads, with the few vertical bows that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and get the ingredients written down and be back in just a second once they're all in. All right, so we have all of the ingredients down. I still have one line over here, but I'm not going to trim off the washi tape yet or at all. I haven't quite decided. I kind of like that it's symmetrical, but because I'm doing all of this off the top of my head, I don't know if I'm forgetting an ingredient. So what I basically tried to do is keep all of the seasonings in this column and then everything else over here. So just in case you can't read my writing, which don't feel bad if you can't, I get it. We have a whole chicken, 3 to 4 boxes of chicken broth, onion, celery, carrots, egg noodles, minced garlic, dried parsley, thyme, sage, poultry seasoning, salt, and pepper. So those are fairly certain all of the ingredients that we're going to need. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use this washi because like it's really important to me to use it. So we are going to take it, we're going to fold it so that the pretty side is in on itself. And then we're going to take the scissors and angle it so that the blade passes through the corner of where the edges, the folded edges meet. And that is going to give us a small flag that is also symmetrical. You don't have to fold it in half and snip it like that. You could just take your scissors and snip half and half. But I prefer that it's symmetrical because that's just me. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and put this down. It's a little big, but honestly, I don't really mind it. Now, a couple of things about washi tape that I failed to mention. For up here, you saw me use my Fisker's blade. So I just put it on my finger and I sliced it off, and I used the edge of this card as like a ruler. So you could use a card that you don't need anymore, so like a gift card that you've spent all the money off of. Oh, that reminds me, I have a gift card I can replace because this one is looking real rough. Or in this case, we don't have a Sam's Club, so I use this because we don't have the membership. So you can use this to slice it, or like I said, you can use like a ruler. This side I use for the blade, and then this other side I use to actually tear, because washi tape tears very easily. I line it up with the line and then just pull and rip it. Very easy. I personally don't like to use scissors to cut washi here because I just find like I don't get it exactly where I want it, like as precise on that line, and a lot of times it's not straight because I cannot cut a straight line. So that is how I'm going to be labeling each of the different prep steps. I'm going to get those done and be back in a minute. All right, so I have all of the ingredients or prep steps down. So I am going to walk it through just to make sure you guys can read it. Cut half to whole onion, several stalks of celery, and bag of carrots into desired sizes. I cut the carrots large, like I literally just slice them. I don't make them bite like teeny tiny or anything. But the onion and celery, I make it very small to completely minced. This way, I mean, pretty much so that nobody can tell that they are in the soup and they eat them. Again, picky kids. Place the chicken and veggies into an oversized pot, and then cover it with 3 boxes of the broth. Remember, you got 3 to 4 boxes of broth, and some of the 4th if space allows. It just kind of depends on how brothy you want it. You may only want to do 3 total. We end up using all 4, but I usually cannot fit all 4 at this point. I can definitely fit 3. Sometimes I can't fit any of the 4th. Sometimes I can fit some. So if there's space, I pour in the 4th, sprinkle on all the seasonings, and cook it on medium to medium high. When the chicken is fully cooked, remove and allow it to cool slightly. Did I really spell slightly wrong? Let me fix that. There we go. To cool slightly before carving and adding to the broth. Cook the egg noodles in a separate pot and then add them to the broth. So you like strain them. Let me put that in. Okay, so strain from cooking water because, yeah. And then if space allows, add more broth if you want to. Taste it and add additional seasonings if they're needed. And then you are done. The main ingredient is chicken and egg noodles. I gave it a 3 just because like carving the chicken, doing the prep work, like it's kind of intensive. So I just decided to kind of put it like middle of the road and fill that in perfectly. That won't bother me. There we go. Prep time, I would say it's probably like about 15 to 20 minutes. Depends how like quickly you can chop things up. Cook time, I mean, the chicken takes a while, so I'm gonna just kind of say an hour and a half to 2 hours. I had to stop because, yeah. I mean, it also depends on how big of a bird you get. Because if you get a smaller bird, you might not need that much broth unless you really like it like very brothy and not too chunky. So like it really comes down to your personal preference. So yeah, and then temperature. Okay, so temperature is medium to medium high. I can't really think of any notes to put in here because I kind of put it all in the actual prep steps. Serve with, we don't usually serve it with anything. Like, it is the meal in and of itself, and usually those of us who enjoy it go back for like several helpings. So yeah. Now, I do not know if it's a tight fit, but I think I'm just gonna do it. Let's see. I'm trying to decide now which one I want to go with. All right, so as beautiful as the yellow Stardust is, I'm not going to use this one. I'm actually going to use this kind of cream colored silver bow, because the yellow Stardust, I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, you can. That is hollow foil, not silver. Normally that doesn't bother me. Silver and hollow to me are kind of interchangeable, but the other thing is there are flecks of rose gold foil. You can kind of see it right there, rose gold foil. And here we go. This little guy right here is a bee, like a bumblebee, a honeybee. So that just isn't really going to do it for me for the spread. A lot of times I can kind of manage that, but I think I'm just trying to find any reason to not use this one because I don't think it's really going to look right. And I'm just trying to say anything to justify it, if I'm being completely honest with you guys right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to keep the rest of the deco fairly simple. I'm going to put this in. This is a 15 millimeter. And the thing is, I do not have any 10 millimeter that goes with these colors that also don't have bumblebees on them, because these were the other ones that were included in that sub box. So as you can see, there's bees on that, there's bees on the pink. Well, the pink doesn't match, but yeah, this gray is really beautiful, but it's flowers and the bees, which are really cute, but yeah, chicken noodle soup. And then this, oh, I have it upside down, I think. Yeah, it's spring forward, lots of leaves. I don't know, I'm just not feeling it for chicken noodle soup. So hopefully that makes some amount of sense. But yeah, so these are the 10 millimeter that came in that sub box. The others, these two are 15 millimeter, and the sweater pattern is also 15 millimeter. And I just kind of think that it's, here, I'm gonna overextend it. I just think that it goes a little bit better. Now here is something fun. I do this almost every week just because I really enjoy it. I am gonna take this all the way to the sidebar, give that a rip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the blade, and I will end up doing this for here too, and I'm not going to have anything for up here. That's going to bother me. Maybe I will try the grayish one that has like the flowers and says spring forward, just so that I have something up there. I like to keep my page anchored. So yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up because I can still see the black box that says preparation. So we are going to trim that. This part I will freehand. I don't know when I got that bold, but here we are. And then I'm going to line this up down here. All right, so I've trimmed out all of the edges of that black header box. Okay, and there you have it. I've got the bows done. So the thing is about this, like these bows, is on my roll, I never noticed it, but they are actually very high instead of being positioned in the middle of the middle of the washi. They're closer to the top, so there's a lot of space at the bottom, so there's not too much of the bows peeking out the bottom, but that doesn't bother me too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the section for ingredients done in the same way that I did this. All right, so I ended up being able to fit the 15mm up here and didn't need to pull in this one, which makes me really excited. I love how this looks with just those 3 washi. So the 15mm, this one, by the way, I'm sorry, is 5mm, and then the sweater pattern. So yeah, I don't really know what to fill in over here. This recipe planner is something that is long-term, so I am going to leave them blank so that over the years, if anything comes up that I need to add in, I will put it over here. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to not worry about it and call the spread finished. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any of my other videos. If you press the bell icon, it'll actually give you pop-up notifications so that you'll know as soon as each of my videos go live. And be sure to be following me over on Instagram. Over there, I'm at Coffee Planner Mom, and I will see you guys later.